Okay, I want you to close your eyes for a second. Just picture the color yellow, but not like a pale sunny yellow. I mean a deep, almost electric yellow.
Oh, like a ginkgo tree in late fall. That
Yeah.
really specific glowing gold.
Exactly that. Now imagine you're on a bike and you're riding through this just incredible tunnel of these trees. Leaves are so thick on the ground, it feels like a carpet. You're in a place called Asan in South Korea. It's quiet, it's peaceful.
Sounds perfect.
It is. You think you're just out for a nice weekend ride, but then, as you're pedaling, it hits you. You realize you're not just on some pretty bike path. You are sweating and struggling on the exact same ground where Korea's most famous naval commander, Yi Sun-shin, learned to fight as a boy.
It's such a striking juxtaposition, isn't it? You have this
Yeah.
modern leisure thing, the expensive bikes, the Lycra, and it just collides head on with this heavy historical weight.
And that collision is exactly what we're unpacking today. We've got a really fascinating set of sources. First, there's a personal travelogue, an essay really, from a cyclist who tried this Hammam riding course in Asan. And spoiler alert, it did not go well for them. Not at all.
And we're pairing that with a transcript from a video, a more lyrical piece called The Reason Yi Sun-shin Came to Asan.
Right.
And I think you should be clear, this isn't just a history lecture, and it's definitely not a bike trail review. We're using these sources to dig into an idea I think is really relevant.
Wow.
It's this concept of resilience rooted in place.
Resilience rooted in place. I like that. It's more than just, grit or something.
It's different, yeah. It's the idea that a landscape isn't just a backdrop. The land itself, the geography, the wind, it actively shapes who you are. So we're going to look at how this one place, Asan, shaped a hero centuries ago.
And how, kind of weirdly, a modern cyclist found a connection to that hero through their own, really embarrassing physical failure. It feels like time travel, almost. But to get there, we have to see the place. The sources paint this incredible picture of the Gokgyocheon stream in Asan.
They do, but it's deceptive. The cyclist describes this Gingko Tree Road. Says the leaves are so thick on the ground it feels like being submerged in a yellow wave.
Submerged in a yellow wave. That's so vivid. It just sounds so serene.
It does. But then the people show up. The cyclist gets to the meeting spot. It's early morning. There are families camping nearby. But then he looks at his own riding team, this Hammam team.
And Hammam is the name of the course or the group, right? It's a bit of a quirky name.
Yeah, but the vibe is serious.
Mm-hmm.
And the source makes this really sharp observation. It says, watching these riders prep their gear, the scene had the vitality and order of a small military unit.
Wow. And that's the bridge right there. You have these modern people in spandex, but the discipline of it all just summons the past. The cyclist says his mind was already crossing over to Yi Sun-shin's era.
Which brings us to, why even go there in the first place? It wasn't about the exercise or the technical course.
No, he says the name Asan itself just called to him, like a pilgrimage. He felt he had to go because of Yi Sun-shin. But this is where the story takes its first big turn, because I think most people assume Asan was his hometown, born and raised.
That's the common misconception, yeah. But the sources are really clear on this, and it completely changes everything. Yi Sun-shin was not born in Asan. He was from Seoul.
A Seoul kid, so not a country boy at all.
Not at all. And this is key to the whole resilience idea. He didn't move to Asan for a change of scenery. He ended up there because of failure.
Failure. What do you mean?
His father, Yoo, he tried to make a go of it in the government, in the capital, but it didn't work out. He couldn't secure a position, which in that era was a huge blow to the family. So they retreated. They moved to the father's hometown, Asan, because they just couldn't make it in Seoul.
Wow. Okay, hold on. That changes the entire narrative. So young Yi Sun-shin doesn't show up in Asan as this hero in waiting. He shows up as the son of a failed family, probably poor.
Exactly. He's this kid from the big city whose family's life has just collapsed. Imagine what that does to you as a kid. You're not just running through fields for fun. You're running through a landscape that represents a family defeat.
But the sources say he turned that retreat into his foundation, his playground.
Yes, he ran along that same stream the cyclist is on. He practiced archery, played war games. But the source makes this really beautiful point. It says it wasn't just about building muscle. It says the wind, grass, and relationships of Asan built his mental skeleton.
Mental skeleton, that's a powerful phrase. It's like the land itself was his training.
It was. And the people there, too. He got this sense of dignity and principle from the local society. So Asan wasn't just where he lived. It was the crucible that forged him.
And it wasn't just the land, right? We have to mention Lady Bang.
Right, his wife. This is the other route. He married Lady Bang, who was a local from that area.
The source calls it a natural union between their two clans.
It was, and it solidified everything. Asan becomes his real nest, his home base. It was a supportive ground that let him go out and launch his whole military career. Without Asan, there is no Admiral Yi Sun-shin.
So you have this picture of Asan as this nurturing place, a place of rebuilding. It's inspiring. But now, let's jump back to our cyclist, because his experience was, let's just say, less than heroic.
Oh, it was a complete disaster.
It really was. I mean, I felt so bad for him reading this. He starts the ride, and boom, immediately mechanical trouble.
His rear tire is rubbing against the frame.
Which, if you don't ride, is just torture. It's like riding with the brakes on the whole time. Every single push is twice as hard.
And it gets worse. The mountain, Mulhansen, he says it feels like a wall.
And this is where it gets funny. He talks about another writer, this woman he nicknames Mrs. Bang's Sunshine.
Mrs. Bang Sunshine, I love that.
You can just picture it, right? This local writer who just floats up the hill, no problem. Meanwhile, our guy is gasping for air.
And then the chain comes off, he gets stuck in trees, he crashes, twice on the way down.
It's just a total physical collapse, he eventually has to call it. He shouts out those 3 letters every athlete dreads. DNF. Did not finish.
DNF, the cyclist's nightmare. You make this whole spiritual journey to the hero's hometown and you fail. It has to be humiliating.
But this is the moment. This is where it all connects. While he's struggling up that hill, hitting that wall, he starts thinking about Yi Sun-shin.
In the middle of all that.
In the middle of the struggle, yeah. He has this epiphany. He realizes that falling is okay and that the way back is also a path.
Which connects right back to the boy from Seoul, the boy who had to take the way back to Asan after his father failed.
Exactly. The cyclist realizes Yi Sun-shin's strength didn't come from a life of just winning. It came from learning how to get back up. The source says, Asan represents the courage to prepare for a retreating start.
A retreating start. That's such a great phrase. We always think of retreating as giving up, but here it's about gathering strength.
And I think we need to pivot here, because if we only focus on the childhood games and this nice metaphor, we miss why the wind in Asan feels so heavy. The sources talk about a silence and a pain in that landscape that goes way beyond a bad bike ride.
You're right. We have to be careful not to make it all sound too simple. The cyclist's struggle is a metaphor, but Yi Sun-shin's struggle in Asan was a real-life tragedy. The place holds his deepest scars.
We have to talk about his mother. The story is just heartbreaking.
It is. And to get the full weight of it, you have to know what was happening in his career. He was wearing white bakui jangan.
Can we stop and define that? Because wearing white doesn't sound that bad to us, but it's much, much heavier than that, right?
It's devastating. It means he'd been stripped of his rank, demoted. He was a commander forced to serve as a common foot soldier. It was a public shaming. He'd been tortured, lost his titles, and sent to the front lines as a nobody.
So he is at the absolute bottom of his professional life, totally humiliated, and that's when he gets the news.
Yes. In that state of disgrace, he gets word his mother has passed away. He couldn't be there. Yeah. And the source points to his war diary, the Nanjung Ilji.
And this part just got me. You'd expect this long, emotional entry, but all he writes is a single line. Mother has passed away.
The silence and pain in that one line is just immense. He couldn't even attend her funeral. He just had to record the fact and carry that weight.
And it didn't even end there. The sources talk about the Gyeonggi War in 1597.
This is maybe the cruelest irony of all. The Japanese army is moving north. By this point, Yi Sun-shin is back at sea, literally saving the country, winning these impossible victories. But on land, his own home in Asan was burned to the ground.
So while he's out there being the hero for the entire nation...
He couldn't save his own house, his family, his neighbors. His youngest son was killed there, fighting the soldiers who burned his home.
That's unimaginable, to save the country but lose your own world.
And the source talks about the anger you feel reading this. The anger at the incompetent king and his rivals. You feel this rage on his behalf.
But Yi Sun-shin's diary...
Silence. Just that heavy silence. The pain of a man who held a sword for a country that couldn't even protect his family.
That puts the heavy wind of that stream into a totally new light. It's not just wind, it's carrying all of that history.
And that's the synthesis our cyclist finally gets to. This is what we're calling the philosophy of the wind.
So how does he reconcile it? His own, DNF on a bike ride with this massive historical tragedy. It feels almost petty to compare them.
And he doesn't equate them. It's not my bad day is the same as his. It's realizing they're part of the same human story. The cyclist sees that Yi Sun-shin's life wasn't just about statues and victories. It was about starting in a failed home, suffering unbelievable loss in that same home, and still enduring.
So the did not finish starts to feel less like a failure.
It becomes a retreating start.
Right.
He accepts the falls, the mechanicals, the embarrassment, and he realizes that just as the boy Yi Sun-shin grew into a general through the winds of Asan, he can use this path to open a new page.
I love that line where it says the wind whispers to move forward. It's like the landscape is coaching you. It's saying, okay, you fell, now move forward.
That is the essence of it.
Mm.
It's not about the place being perfect. It's about the place witnessing your struggle. Asan builds the beginning and the tragic end. It holds all of it.
And the cyclist answers his own question. He says, why did I come to Asan? The name called me. And by the end, he knows why. He went there to learn that a shaken life gives you the power to stand up again.
It's a really beautiful resolution. He's eating lunch, probably bruised up, but he has this new sense of clarity. He's thinking about the path he's walking, the path he still has to walk.
It really makes you rethink how we look at heroes. We always focus on the victories, and the turtle ships.
Right, the highlight reel. We don't often look at the dirt path where they fell down as a kid or the ruins of their home.
So what's the takeaway here for us, for anyone listening?
I think it challenges us to look at the landscapes in our own lives. We usually seek out places of victory for inspiration. We go to monuments of success.
But maybe the real strength comes from visiting the places that saw us at our most vulnerable.
Exactly. The source kind of leaves us with this final thought. Maybe we all need to find the Asan in our own life. Where is that place you retreat to? Not to give up, but to build the strength to start over. Where's the place that knows your pain but still whispers, move forward?
That's a powerful question to sit with. Maybe it's a park, a room in your house, or maybe it's a tough trail you haven't finished yet.
Wherever it is, just remember that the wind there might feel heavy, but it's trying to tell you something.
Resilience isn't about never falling. It's about letting the fall become part of your foundation. That's the lesson from the yellow leaves of Asan.
Well said.
Thanks for diving deep with us today. Go find your win, and we'll see you on the next one.
Take care.
gokgyocheon 바람 따라 달려가는 길 위에 어린 소년 한 명이 내 곁을 스쳐가네. 서울에서 태어나 꿈만던 그 아이는 무너진 삶의 뒤안길을 따라 이곳에 왔지. 아버지의 실패와 무너진 집안살이 돌아갈 곳은 단 하나 고향 아산뿐. 하지만 이곳 들판과 넓은 하늘 아래 그의 심장은 다시 뜨겁게 뛰기 시작했네. 그래 아산으로 온 이유는 포기 아닌 다시 일어서기 위한 길. 강과 바람이 가르쳐준 견디는 법, 이겨내는 법, 소년 이순신의 첫 호흡이 이 강가에 아직 살아있어. 나도 오늘 이 길 위에서 내 작은 용기를 다시 세운다. 갈대밭 사이로 흐르는 시간의 결, 패배도 눈물도 그를 꺾진 못했지. 아산의 하늘 아래 다져진 마음 하나 훗날 조선을 구하는 빛이 되었어. 가세가 기울어 다시 돌아온 길이 아이의 영혼을 더 단단히 만들고 곡교천의 바람이 부드럽게 감싸 준 건 다시 일어나는